Good evening, viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. Happy Women's Day to all the hardworking and wonderful women. We are here to learn reflection of an African child. Sorry we are late. In fact, we had a lot of challenges, and finally we have come without Dora because she also had some challenges and she couldn't join. Maybe she will join us later. Wherever you are joining us from, just send us hi for us to know that you have joined the program. Thank you very much for joining. I have with me two beautiful ladies. We are going to discuss the causes, the effects, and possible solution about Kayayei among Northern girls or young women. I want to say Happy Women's Day to the two ladies I have here. From afar, I have been admiring them. They are doing so well, especially I know more about Rhoda. I know Deborah is also doing so well. She has some, maybe she will talk about that. In fact, I had her live reflection program on my program before. If you have not watched her video, you can do that. I don't know whether there are some updates, but today we are not coming to do a live reflection program. It's all about Kayayei. What are the causes and what are the possible solutions? So, starting from Rhoda, please, a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you, Vero, for inviting me for this program. I'm highly honored. So, Madam Kadwa Roda is a young Ghanaian girl, the founder of Songba Empowerment Center, which is based in Tamale, Northern Region. So the Sangha Empowerment Center focuses on providing sustainable livelihood for women and girls, especially women and girls on the streets. So our projects include skills training, where we give these girls weaving skills, sewing skills, and then we also have some that are also engaged in the production of shea butter. Wedam Kadwaroda is a 2021 Mandela Washington Fellow. 2020 in 2020 I was one of the 100 most influential persons from Northern Region. 2018 I
Oh,
won the
yes. And finally, hello.
Yeah,
We have
hello.
Dora here.
I know,
I'm
oh,
so
like,
glad to be
I'm
able to
so
join.
sorry. It's been a 1 hour struggle.
No, very bad. I was wondering what is happening to the ladies. I'm glad you have made it.
I actually have to use a different phone though.
Okay. Okay, so you're welcome. So let's continue.
Yes.
Rhoda
But I'm
is
glad I'm
doing her
here.
introduction. Yes.
okay.
Sorry
So
for the
no worry. So in 2018, the best female sustainable development goal achiever in 2021, I was the winner for the community development category under 40 awards, and 2022 among the 100 change makers, women change makers in Ghana. So this is just um, a brief something brief about myself, and my goal is that by the year 2030 I should be able to establish at least one empowerment center in each of the 16 regions of Ghana. Thank you.
Glad to hear, Rhoda. Please, Debbie, could you introduce yourself? And Dora is off once again.
All right. Please, I hope you can hear me. Please,
Yes,
can you hear
please.
me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you
please.
very much. So my name is Deborah Mma Agansabka. I'm 23 years of age and currently a final year student of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA. Yes, I'm studying a Bachelor of Business Administration. I am currently a CEO of DNA Northern Smokes and Fabrics. I'm into Northern Smokes, men tops, and the straight dresses for women and tops for women too, as well as the fabrics. Yes, that's what I do. And also a foundation which is Redemption 360 Foundation, basically focusing on providing economic empowerment for young women in deprived areas. So some of our activities include sensitization programs on teenage pregnancy and early child marriages, as well as providing skill training programs, liquid soap training, and then bead and soap making for these young women. As part of my ambitions to be a politician, I have been able to take up some leadership roles on campus, and these leadership roles basically has helped me to influence young women in terms of empowering them economically. So I've once upon a time been a WUCOM of a club on campus, and currently I am and about to, let me just say, preparing to outgo, yes, second female president for the Association of Business Administration Students, UPSA chapter. Yes, please. And all in all, my aim or my goal is to use my position to influence or affect life and encourage people to take up space in their societies. Thank you.
Wow, nice to hear. And then finally we go to Mintiero. Please, a brief introduction of yourself. And she's off. Wow. I don't know. Some network problem. I hope it becomes stable for her. Okay, so Dora is here. I hope her network gets better. Hi, Dora. Oh my goodness. Hi, Dora.
My network is
Okay.
not very
Yes,
good.
your network is
but
not good.
That's hello. I can hear.
Yes, just a
Maybe
brief introduction of yourself. Okay, so Dora is off. I know everybody knows Tiero. If you don't know Tiero, I don't know more about much about her, but what I know is that she represented Upper West region in Ghana Most Beautiful 2021. I'm grateful to have her on the program. So congratulations to you, ladies, and happy Women's Day. We celebrate you for all the support you are giving to the little ones in the northern part of Ghana. So
You.
let's go to the topic. But before that, I really want to show a video. Maybe somebody may not know what's the topic, what we are really going to talk about. And a few days ago, I saw this video on social media. I thought it was going to be kind of people um, talking so much about it, and maybe we'll get some good news that maybe something good have happened to the woman, but I don't know what has happened. I just want somebody to know who is a Kayayei woman or the head porters. So if you don't know, I have a video here. I hope. I pledge myself to the service of Ghana with all my strength and with all my heart. I promise to work tirelessly. Our heritage was for us through the blood and soil of our fathers. And I pledge myself to party to uphold the stand and the good name of Ghana. So help me God. This is the Kayayei woman being able to recite the Ghana national pledge very well and with vim. In fact, well-educated people, if we just pick them at a point they ask them to do this, I'm sure they will not be able to do this. sometimes people see these young women or young girls, and because some of them are always very young. In Dora is here. Let me see. I can add roaming in the southern part of Ghana. Maybe they think maybe they have not been to school, or and they don't have any education. That is why they are just there. But as we witnessed, she was able to recite the national pledge. It means that they have something inside them, maybe situations that have made them to be where they are or what they are doing now. And so we are coming to talk about it. Rhoda is into something like that. She's helping young girls in the northern region. In fact, when we say the northern part of Ghana, it is very big. The northern part of Ghana is very big. These ladies I'm talking to, Rhoda is specifically located in Tamale. Tamale is northern region. And then what is the name? Deborah is in Upper East, Bolgatanga or Navrango, to be specific. And Tiero is in Upper West. Upper West, the capital of Upper West is Wa. So sometimes even people from Ghana, I'm trying to add Tiero again. She wants to join. People from Ghana don't know the difference. They just say northern part of Ghana. But the northern part of Ghana is very big. And even now, I think it's about 5 regions, or I don't know after the division, how many do we have? But I just picked these 3 ladies from the old one that we used to have, the main Tamale, Wa, and then Bolga. So I want to start from Rhoda. What do you think are the causes? I'm sure we can all talk about them, but Kayayei have been there for a long time. I think maybe our mothers, I don't know when it started. Hmm, hmm. There is a sound somewhere. Hi, Dora. Please, are you watching something? Are you watching a video? Okay, so let's continue. Let's forget about the noise and continue. We don't know how Kayayei started. We also came in medic. And fortunately for some of us, we didn't go to do Kayayei, but we have been able to make it. But there are some young ladies who still have to go for Kayayei. They are really struggling. We are coming to look at it. What are some of the causes? And
Yeah.
I'll start from Rhoda.
Okay. If we want to talk about the causes of Kayayei, we'll be looking at a lot. Kayayei itself is a business. It is someone's job. Being a head porter is a job that someone does to get money out of it. But if we want to look at the kind of people that are engaged in it, is where we fall, or is what we are looking at to be a challenge, because you realize that most of them come from the northern regions. So, for instance, if in Accra we have the headquarters coming from Accra and they are working in Accra, that is normal. But the question is, why should someone leave her home, travel to another person's town to engage herself in such an activity that pays her less? Even aside that, they don't even get a better place to sleep. They don't have they don't eat good food, and they go through harsh conditions. So for the courses, most of these ladies move to these cities to engage themselves in these activities because of poverty. We all know that the northern regions, that there is high poverty in these northern regions. But one of the one thing the youth also fails to look at is that they do not want to challenge themselves to identify jobs around them. Though there is poverty in the northern region and also pressure from home, we realize that sometimes there's so much pressure from the home that some of them want to migrate to these cities to free themselves from the pressure. And then some of them too is because of early child marriage. Their parents want to force them, give them out to marriages, and then at the end they have to run. And in the northern culture, when a lady wants to get married. She wants to get her bowls. She wants to get some things before she gets married. And where is the money for her to buy these things? She has to go for the Kayayei because they believe that that is the quickest way to make money instead of they spending some years to engage themselves in skills training and then to get the money. No, they think that that is the fastest way to make the money. So they all, that is how come we find most of them engaging themselves in the Kayayei business.
Okay, very true, Rhoda. But I always think that it doesn't matter. Yes, the challenge has to do with the little ones that also leave education and go to join. But I still think that you said it's a business. I wonder how much they really earn from this kind of business and how long can they continue doing this? That
Yes.
is a
So the
question
reason
we will
why I'm
answer later.
saying Kayayei is a business is that assuming someone at an older age is engaged in that, will you see it to be a harsh? Will you see it to be harsh? And if these people do not exist, who then carries your things when you go to the market? It's just like the truck pusher, and let me say not everyone, let me say, will say was born to go to school. But if you look at northern region too, most of us we drop out of school at an early stage, so we are left alone to do what we want. Our parents do not care about what do not care so much about us, so you realize that most of them have to run away to do that. So for the business, if they are not there, who will carry your things when you go to buy a lot of things in the market? So, like Kaya, it's not a bad thing, but what is making us talk about it so much is the fact that young ones from the northern region think that that is the only job that will make them survive, which is not so. There are a lot of things that they can do to keep themselves moving instead of them engaging themselves in the Kaya activity.
Okay, thank you very much, Rhoda, for your input. And let's move to Deborah. What is your insight about this whole Kayayei issue? Wow, I think Deborah has network challenges. Deborah, Thierry,
Yes, please. Yes. What were you
yes,
saying,
please.
Vero?
Mm, yes, please come.
We are talking about the
Mm,
causes of
yes, please.
network really broke down at a point, so I couldn't get the exact question that you asked.
Yes. What are the causes? What are your view about young girls running to the start for Kayayei?
Okay. So, my own point of view by young women, mostly they are young women, looking for better economic opportunities. So, the reason why one will migrate from for greener pastures is maybe probably the person is searching for better economic opportunities. So these young ladies actually see better opportunities in moving than being in their villages. So by the end of the day, they have and moving to these places, they end up doing nothing apart from joining a KIA. Yeah, so mostly they want better economic opportunities that probably they think cannot be offered to them when they are back home. Other than that, we could talk of issues of poverty, just like our sister spoke about. Yeah, poverty is another issue. So by the end of the day, you want to find something and get something doing. So in order to fend for yourself and sometimes to fending for your families, you are forced to move to do some of these things. considering another fact could also be early marriages. You see, even in our current times, young women are still forced into marriages. So sometimes some of these young ladies, in an attempt to escape early marriages, can move from their place business, as she said. Also, interethnic conflicts can also be a factor. Some parts of our northern places or villages, we still find out that there are issues of conflict here and there. So sometimes you just feel like, why don't I move out of this conflict zone to another zone? Yeah, so by the end of the day, they are forced to move out because it's actually better to move out of a conflict zone than to stay in a conflict zone, and by the end of the day, you can't even do anything. So if such people move out of this conflict zone, then they move to the southern part, they have no other business to join than to join the Kayayei business. Yeah, so these are some of the causes of Kayayei in our current times.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Viewers, if you are just joining us, kindly send us hi for us to know that you have joined. Thank you very much for joining. I'm seeing your messages coming in. Keep them coming. Thank you very much, Agnes, John Bosco, Miss Mom Dakra, Franklin, Mary Ann, Ephraim, thank you. Reverend John, thank you for joining. Rita, thank you very much for joining. We are discussing the causes of young ladies moving to southern part of Ghana to better life. Sometimes, as we just spoke, you spoke about some causes, all that you spoke. I'm just thinking the conditions that they actually go to meet in wherever they go, Kumasi or Accra. Is it not far, far difficult than what they experience if they are at home? That is a question we'll talk about later. Anyway, let me add Dora. She wants to join again. Yes. Hi, Dora. Zero, are you here?
Hello. My network is really disturbing. I don't know if I'm the only one. I said my network is really disturbing. I don't know if I'm the only one.
Don't worry. It's understandable.
Very Nita, thank
Yes,
you so much. Thank you so much for
it's
having me here. Hello.
yes.
So, my fellow guests, beautiful week. Happy National Women's Day to all of you. We're talking about Kayayei this evening. The network was interrupting, so I couldn't really get a lot of what has been discussed already. Sorry if I get to repeat most of what has already been said. But someone sent me a very interesting audio this evening. He saw the we have a discussion on it. Woman was a man. I was really so impressed. A man that from women. How he's so about seeing young girls. I mean, get empowered, be able to make decisions for themselves. And he even set examples of his because they refuse to protect the interest of their sisters that they men are supposed to be protecting. So people keep poverty, but there are some who are okay living in that same poverty that caused others to leave. But I think most of the ones who leave are people who are girls who are looking forward to a better life. Like they wish that they had something better than what they had, which they look around and don't see. And perhaps by their level of education, their level of exposure, that is what they can do out there to support themselves. I have watched documentaries on there was this brilliant young lady that was in college, and she said she was doing Kayayei to start so that when she's posted, life will be easy for her. So sometimes I think it's just the hope of finding something better. If we level poverty, there's a lot of things to poverty. But for me, I think there are people who are just born naturally with, the foresight and the force to see things become better. You get it? And probably there's no rich auntie anywhere. There's no really extended relative anywhere that they can go to. There's just this desire to step out there and see. Are things really different out there? And most of the times, don't travel intentions of going to necessarily do Kayayei. But the course of exploring yourself in Kumasi. Let us ask ourselves, what even made the person think of leaving home in the first place? It goes beyond poverty. Are people not poor in Accra? There are people that are poor in Accra. Have they left Accra? They are here. But for me, I think, if I probably would think why somebody would want to leave, maybe because of my level of exposure and education, I don't live in the north anymore. So the things I'm doing here are probably not Kayayei. Perhaps I personally wanted to explore. I wanted to see, are things different? Can it be better? Stabiro, I watched your video of you saying that you started to see life in a different way when your auntie moved you from the village to another place where you had a better education. You get it? There's Christmas come, New come, we see people coming home with nice dresses, nice hairdo. Do you think girls don't want to feel out there? No, they just cannot. They just not sit and see you keep coming and going. It is sometimes I feel it's just an excitement to also go out there and see what's happening. And of course, if you come to Kumasi, if you come to Accra,
Our network is really bad.
it's
Tiaro network
cheap. Like,
is
why
bad.
not? Yeah.
Yes.
I had a call.
Viewers, yes. We are really sorry about the network situation. Two of the ladies has poor network and it's really slowing down the program. So let's see how it goes. We hope everything ends well. I'm also thinking sometimes is it out of curiosity that these girls run to Kumasi and Accra, and when they get there, is they are unable to return home because they don't even have the fare to go back, and they end up in the street. Let me add this. Yes, Deborah is back. Tero is
Yes,
here.
please.
Let's hope the network is stable for us. We are still on. Sometimes it's really a pity when you get to Kumasi. I remember the time I was in Ghana and I
Is there
went to
something?
do my program in Kumasi.
Go on now.
Anytime I get there, sometimes um you don't even know what to tell these girls. You see them everywhere. They are sitting. They don't have place to even rest. They are sitting in the sun. You don't know what they are doing. It's really sympathetic. But as time goes on, we hope that at least, as Rhoda said, those that are in basic schools and they leave their education and go there, at least if it is able to minimize. Though Rhoda said it is a business, but me, I really wonder what kind of business is that, because the struggle that they actually go through there, master, what kind of money are you looking for that you don't even have place to lay your head to rest? So it's really a pity unless you go there. If you are in Ghana or Kumasi or Accra, you understand what we are talking about. It's really a pity, and many of these girls is actually as a result of poverty. They really have no one to turn to. I'm telling you. Look, I always
It's not
say that.
money. It's not money.
Yes, I always say that one way of reducing poverty in Africa or in Ghana is to give a kind of training or education to every household. Look, if you just, there are some homes that the whole house, no one has gotten any education, no skill, nothing. So they are just doing farming. And so when they farm and there is nothing to eat, they have to seek something else. And these are some
But
of the challenges. Yes.
you see, one thing about this is that if you are coming from a poor home, you definitely there'll be pressure on you to go and look for money. And the kind of money they are looking for is not the one that you say, okay, enroll yourself in a skills training, go to school. The person is calculating for how long will I go through this to be able to get the money for myself. There are a lot of initiatives for these girls for them to learn a skill. Most organizations have brought some of them back and have engaged them in skills training. But how long will I go through this training for me to be able to start earning something to support myself and the family? How long? They want quick money. So even if you see in Tamale, for instance, most of these young girls, when they drop out of school, you see them carrying things on their head and selling their banana, selling. You look at the things they are selling and you ask yourself, how much do they make out of it? So you see, they want something that will give them money, money, like quick money. They need quick, not so much money, because even with 10 cities, they can live with 10 cities a day. But will they be able to get that 10 cities a day to survive? That is the kind of business they are looking for.
Um, yes, I agree with you to some point, but I still think that it means that these girls really need mentorship. They need guidance and counseling.
Not
Because
only that, but initiatives that, so you see, that is where so with what we do at Songba Empowerment Center is that if I tell you to come and learn a skill for 3 years, to serve a master for 3 years, when will you also start making the money? So as soon as the person is enrolled in Songba Empowerment Center, within the period of 6 months, once you start producing and we can sell, we start paying you. So within 6 months, the person already starts earning money from the center. Then we help the person save as well. So the person already has money. So what is going to motivate her to travel again? All the girls at the center now, I don't think you can come and tell them to leave for Kayayei and the world, because the reason why they are on the street is because of money, and they have come and they are paying whilst learning. So if initiatives like this can keep going on, I think the girls will enroll themselves in the skills training. But to be frank, 3 years is not small. To be in a skills training for 3 years before I then go
yes,
out,
yes,
establish
yes,
myself,
Rhoda.
the customers coming.
Yes.
But
I totally
if
agree with you. And that is where I was coming to learn. Because if you go
Um,
and put these girls in a skill training, you need to give them some little pocket money so that they can survive.
and who will
But
give them?
if we just say, okay, maybe the person gets up in the morning and no money to even buy food they eat before going to work, and all these are challenges. But if you give them some kind of pocket money to take care of themselves. And as you said, your initiative is very good. If you come for the skill training and you are so hardworking, and within 6 months you are able to do your own weaving, then you get some money out of that. And I think these are some of the
Right.
initiatives that we should be looking at. But how many girls can you pay? We will still come there. We were just talking about the
Oh,
courses.
I actually
Now,
wish I'm just missing out on another.
yes, Sarah, do you want to add something? Hi,
Yes,
Sarah, do you want to add something?
you know, this discussion about yes, I wanna add something. It may sound a bit different though. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, Sarah, we can hear you.
Sometimes I think I was having a discuss. I was talking with a young girl. Yes, I was young. I think and like you said, some people have anybody to look at themselves. Learned a lot of them, and some of them can school you. Hello.
Yes, Sarah, we are there, but the network is making the speech so slow. Yeah, but
Yes,
let's see whether we
I
get the
I I
point.
always I always I always yeah. So what I'm saying is that I don't know at this point whether we are actually saying the whole idea about Kayayei is bad. Should girls not engage in it at all? Is it that we are looking at a way they should rather engage in it? Do we think it's something that they should stay away from? I'm really not getting it.
Um, um, yes, it is something that should be discouraged, especially among young girls who are still schooling. I don't agree that it is a business. Rather want to say that it's a kind of business that adults can engage in to get money. But I totally agree. Here, I disagree rather.
Is
In
it should it be
Europe,
discouraged?
you go and buy your things you carry. Yes, sorry viewers, we really have problems with the network. Yes,
Our network.
yes. Sarah, have you made your point? Yes,
Yeah,
there is a
but
problem with the
I'm
network.
asking so that I mean, are you looking forward? Are you really looking forward to discourage every young
Yes, yes,
girl
yes,
Kayayei
yes,
business
yes.
looking at a particular age?
The age should be the basic. Those students that are sometimes there are a lot of things that are actually associated with this whole thing. Some people who complete junior high school, they don't have. Okay, now even we have free education, but still the free education you still need something to put in your pocket to go to school. I don't think the free education gives you everything. I don't know. I don't know much about the free education. Some after senior high school, they are not able to get money to go to the tertiary, so they have to go and work to get some money to help themselves. Some drop out from school completely and they go to join these kind of businesses that they engage in. And these are the ones we really want to discourage. But for instance, Rhoda was saying that these are businesses that adults engage in. For instance, an old woman or an adult woman, maybe around the age of 35 or 40, decide to go and join. In fact, even that one, me, will discourage it. But that one is quite better. We know that maybe the person have maybe have struggled and have seen that there is nothing she can do. But for the young ones, it's something really bad, and that is what the stakeholders should look at it and try to help. This thing has been there for a long time, and it's still happening. So many girls from the north are sleeping outside. They don't even have place to sleep. They're in South or Kayayei, and they have left their education, no skill training for them, and they are over there. So that is what we are talking about. The network is discouraging. Uh, Rhoda is
I
off
know, right?
now.
It's making the discussion very back and forth.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what are some of the negative effects. What are some of the negative impacts on these girls or the
Okay.
society at
So,
large, their families? We can look at all that. What are the
okay.
negative impacts?
All right. So, before we talk about the negative impacts of Kaya on these young ladies as well as their families, I would like to add that the reason why the Kaya is so unattractive is that it is in so much supply. So we always say that because it's so much, it's like there are too many providing these services. So by the end of the day, it makes it unattractive. It's not actually something which is competitive. So by the end of the day, these young ladies out there, they are willing to just take anything. So it gets to a point whereby the young ladies engaging in these acts are so desperate just for a survival. So any amount you are ready to give them, they are ready just to do it. So by the end of the day, those who also patronize them take advantage of this particular factor. So you meet a young lady in the market and she says, "Let me carry your things. How much are you charging me?" And the young lady says, "Any amount, anything you just want to give me, even if it is one city." It happens. So because of the nature of the work and because of the high supply, you see there's abundance, there's surplus, so it makes the whole thing unattractive. So by the end of the day, the business aspect of it or the benefit aspect of it, you don't really see the greater impact like that. Yes, but to say that we are discouraging it completely to an extent, I wouldn't agree. But the point where we need to discourage it is how it is being practiced, the manner in which Kayayei is being practiced. So you leave school completely and you go into Kayayei. These are things we cannot accept. Definitely, a young girl like me, if I drop out of school and the next thing I do is go into Kayayei, definitely someone meeting me will have to discourage me because if that is the only means by which I can survive or buy my books or even cater for some utilities that I will have to get for myself while being in school or staying in school, then that will be the only thing I will have to do. But it shouldn't distract me or shouldn't take me out of the classroom. Yes. So talking about the effects of Kaya, basically I would like to touch on the health related aspect of this whole Kaya thing. Women, as we know, we are already vulnerable, very vulnerable in terms of almost everything. So health-wise, we are very vulnerable. So if we are being exposed to very harsh conditions, we are affected greatly. Yes, so exposing a young lady and a young guy, you see, mostly the reason why we don't talk about, we also have many guys that are out there hustling, yes, on the streets. But it seems by the end of the day, we don't talk more about the guys because the women are more vulnerable to conditions. So, talking about the health conditions, these young ladies out there are very much exposed to hard and very toxic health conditions. So sometimes, and they are not even aware of some of the dangers they are being exposed to. So by the end of the day, some, let's say, accidents can occur. They can have body pains because of the nature of the work they are engaging, and other health related risks that they are being. Now, the dangerous part of it all is seeking for health care is also another problem. These young ladies, by the end of the day, would just self prescribe drugs for themselves. Then they might not even go to a pharmacy, but maybe a hacker selling drugs, and they buy it, then they take it. So by the end of the day, they don't get the opportunity to take very good care of themselves. So the health related aspect of the whole Kayayei thing is really a worrying factor that young ladies are being faced with. It's very risky. Sometimes where they sleep, they are being exposed to all kinds of things. So that is one of the effects that I think is really a worrying factor that should be catered for. Yeah.
Yes, let's go to Rhoda. Rhoda, what do you think about the effect of these ladies in Kumasi and Accra who has no sleeping place? We don't even know. What do you think about the negative impact on their lives, their families, their siblings? Any aspect that you want to talk about?
So one negative effect that this has on, let me say, the community as a whole. So, for instance, if you have a particular community where most of them are migrating to engage themselves in Kayayei, you get there and then there is no young lady in the community. And it is really true that you get to some communities, and aside the old men and then children, the youth are not found in the communities because almost all of them have in search of greener pastures. So you get there and it's not there. So what happens to the community? Because the youth at that time, that is, they are the, let me say, the future of the community. But you get there and they are not there. So what if we realize that it has an effect on the community as a whole. And then to the girls themselves, this is one of the reasons why they engage themselves in this or they travel is because of is peer pressure. Some of them have left and have succeeded. You travel, you get there, you don't succeed. Coming back home is a problem because you don't want to come back and they'll say you haven't succeeded. The shame itself. Your family is waiting to use you as a mentor in the community to they boast about you, and you come back and you are not that kind of, you are looking at what would people say if you come back and you don't have the money that, or you don't make others have made it. So psychological, let me say, you the human being, you get to a point where making certain decisions becomes very difficult because maybe you are struggling going back home will be a problem because you haven't made it. So what do you do? So you end up living your life on the streets just like that. Sometimes some of them even die there and we don't even see their bodies to bury. Their families do not hear about them again. So what happens? So these are some of the effects that we that it has on the community and then the to the girls to, some of them also get pregnant without they even knowing who the fathers of the of the children are, because being exposed, sleeping outside like that, men easily take advantage of them. They get pregnant, and then there's one girl in my center here who has a baby, but we don't know who the father. She doesn't know who the father of the baby is. So a girl like this, where is the baby going to? Who is the baby going to grow to call a father? So they give birth to children who do not have fathers, and they also turn out to become a burden on the society. So the more we keep recording this, the more the society will keep having issues like this. So as we keep solving them, they're also bringing us more problems. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. That is always one issue I'm
Um,
really worried about. You see, many a times these girls they go to Kumasi that they are looking for better life, but at the end of it, they rather make their life and the life of their family worse, because you get there, you are sick, you get pregnant, you come and add another child. You cannot take care of yourself,
Definitely.
but you have given birth to a child, and your poor family have to provide for you and that child. You can imagine the burden. And these are some of the challenges. These things really increases poverty. I ever said it before, and these are some of the challenges. Quick, and Tiago, please, what is your input? Or should we go to the solutions? Because time is really running. Because of the network, we are really running out of time. So let's go to the solutions. I know you guys are doing so much, but aside that, what do you think? What are our suggestions to this issue?
good. I was about to say something.
Sarah, are you back?
Yes, they are all problems that bring headache. In fact, the problems you say they bring, it's true. Everything is true. But honestly, until we have alternatives, they are not. We will keep talking about them and keep talking about them. So for me, I'm actually
Yeah.
interested in the possible solutions. Until we have alternatives, it just tells us the state of where we are, and we should be thinking about what we can do to help. Because if Kayayei is just, it's not news. It's not that just started. It's been there, and we all the college with our comes with is there the disadvantages. But for me, I'm more interested in the possible solutions, because
So yes, so you can
what can
start with
stop,
some of
what can make them
yes.
reason with their future. That's the solution is what I'm more interested in.
So do you want to start with that, or we should start with someone? Deborah, what do you think? What are some of the possible solutions?
Okay, so talking about the solutions, basically, I have my personal approaches that I normally say we need to look at them when solving a problem. So normally my approach is to look at the problem
Wow. Hmm. The network is disappointing. So, Rhoda,
Yeah,
Today
Pharaoh.
network is that's my
The network
yes.
is really nice.
So Deborah is off because her network is bad. So, maybe you would like to continue. I know you have some way of helping these girls, but what do you think? Are there other solutions? Because the problem is not ending. It has been there for a long time. It became a mandate. I don't know how long it will take to stop these little girls from leaving their school and running to Kumasi and Accra.
For the issue of Kayayei, I don't think it will end today, and I don't know what kind of policy the government can bring to be able to stop it. because whilst we are seeing it as um, an unhealthy job, someone is also somewhere making a lot of money from it. So, do you think such a person will want to stop? In as much as we are talking against it, but seriously, people
I
are
tell
some are
you,
making money from it, some are making money, some have built houses from it. So that is where I was coming in. That is a business to some people, but
support is
we are
making
rather
business out of it.
discouraging the young ones from engaging themselves. So they shouldn't
I
see it as the only option to success. That is not the only option. That is what we should be preaching. A lot have been done by organizations. The government has come in to do a lot to be able to reduce the rate at which these girls travel. But you see, maybe will I say it's not enough, or but to me it's enough. Just that sometimes we the youth too, we want to explore, we just want to engage ourselves in such an activity. There are people that organizations are sponsoring or supporting to to engage themselves in skills training, but they dump it and then they travel there. So personally, some people just want to do that. So such a person, I don't think will be able to stop the person
Brother,
from
I always
something.
think that children that really do these things, like the person
Mm.
have been brought to have some kind of skill training and you leave it around by, it means that there is no good counseling or guidance for that particular child. Because if you think about the future, then you should be afraid of going back there because you cannot continue doing Kayayei for the rest of your life.
So you see, very the individual here is not everybody that accepts counseling like that too. You when they talk to
I
you,
don't
you
want to count. I
listen.
don't want to.
You are
I think
someone
the
who
next
thinks
section
about your
is
future.
good, and I want
It's not
to say
everyone that
something.
accepts it like that. A lot have been done, as I
Yes.
said. What don't I do in my organization? There is counseling sessions here. I talk to these girls against early child marriage, but I still record it in the center here. The person dumps the training skills and then goes to marry. There's a policy here that once you want to marry and you are not done with the training, you don't come back. Then when you go, then that ends it. It is a policy that I have put in place, at least just to scare them from this, to let them understand that it is their future that is more important. But look, the person sees the marriage. The guy is coming. The guy is not working. He's also an apprentice just like her. She leave the skills and go and marry. But what kind of counseling haven't I done? This is someone
It
who
means
even
that you
earns
have
money.
to talk to them.
Yes, so
It
the
should be
person leaves it.
something that you should be telling them every day when you go to work. You
Girl,
have to
we
keep
do
telling
it.
them.
The parents are involved in this, and it will surprise you to know that the parents are even behind this. They put pressure on the girls to go and marry because they feel that they can no longer take care of them. The girls are a burden to them, so they want them to go and marry. And there is this thing they now, this is what they are now saying, that the world is now strange. The things that are happening in the world is now strange. You don't know when you will die, so marry and give birth early so that when you die, at least there is
So so
someone you have left
so
behind. Now this
so
is what they are.
that brings me.
So this one, this is what the person has put in mind. For me, I would do my part, but as the individual himself or herself, it will not be whether the person will accept it or not.
So
So
now
we are
to
doing our
the
best.
audio
Organizations
this
are
evening,
doing their best, but
brother, you are nailing it right on the head.
I think there is still more to be done. It means that even
Vero,
the
I
parents
want to
themselves
see that.
need to be talked to.
Vero, even the youth of today talks about jobs, that there are no jobs. Do you know it's a lie there are jobs? Look, there are some youth that you even give them jobs. You want them to. How many youths are ready to volunteer? And it is true, some of these volunteering jobs that you even get, you get the experience and you get employed. Everyone wants to wear the suit and sit in an office. Do I sit in an office? I don't sit in an office, but am I not employed? Haven't I employed myself, and haven't I am I not engaging over 40 girls in the center? They are making their money, I'm also making my money. So so there are some people that are not ready to work. So we set people, no matter what you do, hit the nail on their head, they'll still be like that. So for me, I think that those that are ready to be changed, we are doing our best to change them. Girls in the center here are making money. When you make enough money, then I go to the extent of opening an account for you at the bank. Then I transfer your savings from the savings box to the bank. So if someone, this is what some people are benefiting, they know of it, but still they say they don't want. So we are still doing our best, and we'll do it to those who are ready and willing to change.
Wow. If the youth, if you are watching
Okay,
this
so
program, please,
basically,
yes. Tiaru, continue. Wow.
yeah. So
Okay.
I'm trying to say that Rhoda is giving us very practical things that are happening on the ground. However, I think we live in a society where we haven't actually gotten up to realize things are moving beyond what we used to know. He's talking marriage, marriage so that I'll take my dowry, marriage so that you can have child. I didn't know what exactly that she does to support these young girls. But perhaps, are you getting me? Some are not showing interest because that is not what they want to do. Are you telling me that as at now, there are no young girls who are born in the north, remote areas, who have the passion of journalism, who have the passion of banking, few options like sewing, hair making, shoe making, and then we say that they should deal with that because that is what's available. Have we have trust me, I am saying that we have reached a stage of life where we should just don't want to do it, they don't want to engage. But some, that is not what they want, but that is what is available. So take it, but you won't see the effective it. Are you getting me? So for me, I think the approach should rather be shifted to helping them to identify what exactly they want. I watched a documentary about this young girl who was doing a war. Her parents died, and they were put in a school at the war. And then while she saw a, a paper that it was a TED talk. She saw a paper below the classroom, and when she picked, it was a picture of a ballet dance. And then she said to herself that she wanted to be like this picture on there. Tell me that Steph, I don't know where Rhoda comes from, but I know you come from Nandom. Are you
I come from Navrongo.
telling me that there's somebody who's
She's a Tamale girl,
okay?
don't
So are you
mind her.
telling me that yes? Are you telling me that are you I mean, if somebody wants to be something that is not within the neighborhood, they must stay there and just be sewing like everybody wants to sew. Sometimes, like I told you, from my point of view, it is exposure that sends them out there. But perhaps they don't have the right guidance to put them on track. It's not everybody who wants to sew. NGOs have done this sewing and hair thing for years. It's not everybody who wants to just money. Though money is good, but so beyond it. We've heard stories from very great who are from remote areas. They carry the barrier, the usual, to get what they really want. I get me. In 5 years, even 30 years, they still don't know. They still haven't discovered what they really want. So
I
we limit,
really like the
young people
points
to
you.
then call them lazy and shun.
Thank you very much, and Tiero. You have really touched on a very important issue. In fact, Rhoda, Tiero didn't disagree with what you said, but if you see what she just spoke right now, it means that sometimes the reason why the children refuse to do what you give them is maybe they are not interested. And so, one way of we helping them is let them identify what they want, their potentials. What are they interested in? What are they interested in? Maybe we could also start it from there and we can help them to develop. But maybe you just go and bring the person and say, okay, come and do weaving. Maybe the person is not interested in weaving. So that is some of the training we can give these young girls. Or maybe also, I think there is still a lot to be done. Maybe also talking to parents. A child, hey, if my mother has given out for marriage, my family, we are 6 girls. If my mother had given us out for marriage at the early stage, I wonder what would have happened to her. But right now, with education, with skill training, life becomes better. And that is what we are all wishing for every young girl that is coming up. But sometimes that is what I always say, that some of these things is as a result of the influence of social media. And we really need to talk and talk and talk more to these young ones. I really like the discussion this evening. Important points are being talked about. I really like what Rhoda said and what Thierry also added to what she said. So I don't know whether if Deborah, do you want to say something? Have you been following what we've done?
I went offline because I had
Mm,
challenges with my network, but I think I'll
yes.
just say something
Yeah, I
small
would like to
concerning
add this
the
on a
solutions.
personal experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so Thierry, you can complete before we go to Deborah. Okay. What a network. So Deborah, do you want to
Yeah,
continue?
I
Thierry
was saying
network is
something
bad. Yes.
that I wanted to add, include with what's the name? A personal experience. Okay. At a certain point of my life, of course, we all come from places we want to do better. It doesn't matter the level you are. You will always want to do better. You also know what, probably the picture is not clear. So I remember it had
No, we
gotten to the
can't
point
see anything.
my mother had to make a choice for me because I could, and I told her that I it. Yeah, that's what everybody. Okay, do it for now, so that when you get the opportunity, do it now to sustain yourself financially, so that when you get the opportunity,
Hmm.
you
Um, the network is
Mhm.
bad, Thierry.
do
Yes.
what
Hmm. So Thierry network is very bad. Um, Deborah.
Okay, so quickly, I'll just have to, before my network took me off, I was actually making a very important point here before I was taken off by the network. So I would like to just go back on it and speak briefly
Mhm.
about it. So I was actually talking about the issues of effects and solutions. Basically, we find solutions based on our effect and not based on our causes, which is a mistake we always make all the time. So it's like I'm a sick person. I go to the hospital. I'm being diagnosed of malaria. I'm being given malaria drugs to take. I take it. The next time I come with similar issues, still I'm being given malaria drugs to take. But it would have been better or more appropriate that I now go back to find the cause of the malaria. So probably my environment is a filthy one where mosquitoes have the opportunities to be breeding. So I'll have to go back and check my environment. Probably I don't sleep under mosquito net. I will have to start doing that. You get it? So if I'm able to identify the cause of my problem and tackle the causes with solutions from that particular grassroots, the effect has no opportunity of occurring. So when you identify a problem and you are able to tackle it from the cause, then your effect will not have an opportunity of occurring where you have to always find solutions to effect. Not at all. Yes. So with this particular issue of finding solutions to the issue of Kayayei, as we said, most of the young ladies completely drop out of school and join Kayayei, not maybe probably they are balancing it with their education or something like that. Yes. So we have to start with their mindset. We need to sensitize their mindset. So mentorship programs will be best for these people. Yes, we can always have the social intervention programs for young people. Yes, of course, but is their mind made up for such works? If their minds are not made up, or if they don't understand what actually they are doing, if they don't understand the essence of what they are doing, as compared to the Kayayei and the hardship or the harsh conditions they'll be exposed to when they are out there, then by the end of the day, it will be like you are pouring water on rocks. So we need to start from their minds. We need to start psyching their minds to understand a path they are supposed to take as young women trying to survive in society or trying to fend for themselves. So mentorship programs would be best in this particular situation. Will be best in these particular situations. And also, we cannot do without these social intervention programs. It's really helping a lot of young ladies. And in speaking of this, I can't always speak about this without um, saying well done to Comfort. Comfort is doing marvelously well. They are touching a lot of lives of young women. I'm a proud beneficiary of this uh, program and intervention. And they are doing a whole lot for young ladies out there. A whole lot of young ladies who would have gone wasted with their talent and skills in them wouldn't have been able to achieve it without Comfort. So I always say Comfort, God will richly bless them. And they should keep touching the lives of young women and young promising women like myself and many other women out there. They are really doing a great job. So
Amen.
these programs, yes, these programs by the end of the day exposes or bring understanding among young women. We understand that we are supposed to fend for ourselves. You are supposed to stand up and take up space in your society. So if you are made to understand that you are supposed to take up space in society and you are being mentored through the right path, then I think you really position yourself where you are supposed to move to. Yes. So the social intervention programs where we introduce skill training, and even now it's not maybe those who are dropouts that normally go into skill training. No, now skill training is for everyone because we now believe that even while you are in school, bagging a degrees and a master's and everything that she can think of, you still need some skills in you. So even as a student trying to get a bachelor's degree, I can boast of so many skills that I've been able to acquire for myself, because at one point or the other you will need these skills. Yes, so we need to encourage these young ladies, as we said, not basically because we feel they have to be doing something, we give them anything, but we need to understand what they want to do and mentor them towards that direction. If you mentor the person towards a particular direction, a person is comfortable with, I think the person will bring out the best in herself, and that's the best way. And then one good thing about we young women is that when we see light, we also want every single one to see the light. So if a young lady strives to get to a particular point, you then look back,
Yeah, I think I agree with her so much.
I have to give back to my society. Yes, and that is what we keep doing. Sure. So I think I'm done.
We are definitely breaking the barriers and the bias rather. So, um,
Yes. So, Deborah, I really love your mission. I really love Deborah's submission a lot. That's the way to go. It's mentorship such that people will get, see, when you find yourself at the place where you really find yourself doing what you are, it's very easy. So that's why over the to the young girls and all of that, to reduce they did their best. But you realize that you gather some girls together, give them the same thing to do, and some do better than the others. It basically tells you that some are good at it and probably better at while some are also something else.
wow.
Out. Expose them to opportunities so that I can other 6 years, some 7 years, law is 6 years. So we have to learn to understand that people take time to identify or reach their various potentials, depending on what they are with Deborah on her mentorship solution. Because at the end of the day, that is actually what is going to expose their dreams to them and let them decide. Expose their dreams to them and let them decide. If we limit everything to their ability to be able to fend for themselves, then they will live a life fending for themselves all the days of their life. And for
Mm.
me, if it's about fending for yourself, then if Kayayei can fend me all the days of my life, then maybe I should really challenge why I chose to do Kayayei. But it's about
It's
finding
true.
an interest area or a career and build to a point where it becomes an impact on you, then we'll be making productive progress. We'll be making productive progress. And
Okay.
I don't know whether
Hmm.
it was Rhoda that mentioned the early child, the marriage, early marriage. I talked about the young sent me he had issues with some of his brothers and his friends, the men, who fathers want to marry off their daughters So necessary. We
This
think the
network thing.
only pushing for the young girls, their fathers are also parents are also targets. Let they get to understand the world is no
Tiaro,
longer
we
built to
can
be.
hardly hear anything because of the network. I'm really sorry
The
about
age
that.
where I mean we were depending
Hmm.
on
I think you have to send her a text
every
so that you alert her that
Yes,
her network
she's not
is
hearing.
challenging.
right.
Tiaro, your network is
So
really
we
bad.
to go.
We
So we need to do
can
a lot of
hardly
things.
hear
And
you.
so um
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
So let me, Vero,
I'm
if
very
let me just add this.
good and I always encourage every woman to pursue it.
Let
Thank you very much, Tiaro.
Let me just add one of the things that we can do if we can be able to add
It's
advocacy
not
to it. So in the
really this
communities, if we can really
girl
talk much about
before
the dangers involved in
because
Kayayei
you're
to the
not
parents, the
supportive.
chiefs, the
Most of these
opinion leaders.
girls after marriage, everything goes
Hmm.
Yes, and Tiaro
Okay.
is off.
I think finally she has
Okay,
been
so
taken
go
up by the
ahead.
network.
Rhoda, you can continue. Tiaro
Yes.
network is
So
really bad. Hmm.
okay. So with the mentorship that Deborah was talking about, we giving to the girls, that's very, very important. And I think we should also look at the community as a whole. You know, the child is coming from a community, is coming from a family that she will definitely need their support. So if you are, I think we need to advocate against it, let them know the dangers involved in this Kayayei. If we're able to get stories from girls that have been there and it didn't really go well, we can relate that to we can relate the stories to such girls and then let them know what it is or what really goes on there. Some of these parents do not know what the girls go through. They don't
Hmm.
see it on TV because they don't have TVs. They don't see it on social media because they don't have the phones to look at it. So if we're able to at least document some of these things and show it to them. There was one time we went to a community and then I showed a video of how these girls, what they go through in Accra. And it will amaze you that most of them were so shocked and were like, wow, so is this what is really going on? Because she won't go there and come and it's only a few that will come back to tell you the real truth or the actual truth because they don't want others to be discouraged or they don't want you to feel that they really suffered there. So we should, I think we need to continue with the advocacy. Let's talk to the opinion leaders. We talk to the parents, and then I think this would definitely help us.
Sure.
Yes, wonderful. It has been a great discussion. And I think we will get time to continue another time. This will not just end today. We need people on board. We need stakeholders. Please help the northern young girls to stop going for Kayeye. They need to get skill training. They need to be in school. But in one reason or the other, sometimes, as I always say, maybe because of social media exposure or peer influence, some of them found themselves there and they are unable to
Hmm.
even return home because you need to really work hard to get money before you can go home. Sometimes I always think that this Kayayei thing is just like illegal migration to the Europe or those kind of stuff, which one day I really have to bring this topic here because you get there and you can't even return back. These are also the situation. So, um, Carol, thank you very much for accepting my invitation to share your ideas on this topic. Thank you. And Deborah, thank you very much for agreeing to share your ideas. And the Somba lady, you are really doing great. I have been admiring you from far. Keep on doing your best for these young girls. And viewers, thank you very much for joining the program. We have really spent a lot of time, maybe because of our network challenges, and Dora is off one. So we will end the program today. I wish every woman, every hardworking woman, happy Women's Day. I want to thank Emifa. Emifa Presla was one of the ladies I had the interview with some few weeks ago. She really designed this specific flyer for me. After the program, she told me that, oh, if I want, she can help me to do some flyers. And she just did it for me for free. I want to thank you, Emifa. She's really doing well, a woman in science and technology. Keep doing your best, and thank you very much. I want to thank you, beautiful lady, for this program, and do have a wonderful time. Thank you, viewers, for joining, and bye. Good night to everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.